All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. Kohaloyim La, Allah Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawadah, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi, Barakatha Yahawah, Barakatha Yahawashi. All right, this is your brother Zakar Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. The Lord will just be quick, edifying, straight to the point, and be edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, first and foremost, man, I want to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well. All right, I want to say shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's going to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect, the 12 tribes scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. All right, I'm going to start this off in the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 22. It reads, "There is no peace, saith Yahawah, unto the wicked." All right, there's no peace unto the wicked, man. As much as these heathen want to keep talking about peace, we're entering into peace, we're having peace talks and this and that, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? There is no peace. All right, the prophets are here speaking this word. All right, speaking what thus saith the Lord, man. There will be no peace. There will be war. There will be calamity. There will be chaos. There will be destruction. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into this article. I got another article that I want to share with you as well. All right, so this one comes from Prophecy News Watch. It says, prophetic turning point. Trump-Zelensky clash ignites calls for EU army. All right. After that whole debacle, you know what I'm saying, that took place at the Oval Office last week, or inside the, let's say inside the White House. I don't think there was in the Oval Office. Slack it. Slack it. I don't think they was inside the Oval Office, but they were inside the White House. So, after that whole situation that happened, the world had watched closely. All right. The biggest argument of the century took place on the world stage last week. You see what I'm saying? Literally, the talk of World War III is on the table. You know what I'm saying? And it's not coming off that table. You see? And ever since what happened last Friday, all these other nations have been looking at America sideways, man. You know what I'm saying? Because here it is, you done dragged us all into this conflict, and there's no way out for us, man. You know what I'm saying? No way out for us. And here it is, you're walking away from what we all agreed to. You see? This is why the scriptures say what it says in Revelation chapter 17. All right. This beast is going to hate the whore, and we're already seeing it happening. We're seeing it happen. All right. And now we're talking about Canada. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple countries that's pissed off with America right now, man. Canada, China, you know what I'm saying? All these terrorists running, being thrown out everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Mexico, all right? It's about to get real bad for America real soon, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, all these EU nations are having to step up their own weapons and their own, artillery. I just read an article a little earlier talking about they're planning on gathering together a number, I believe it was about 800 something billion dollars to put into the war effort to fight against Russia. You know what I'm saying? So this thing's about to heat up. All right. The article reads, for those who study Bible prophecy, recent world events have raised eyebrows. The abrupt fallout between President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has not only shaken diplomatic relations, but has also sparked renewed calls for Europe to establish its own army, one independent of the United States, one that is independent of the United States. You see? This is prophecy playing out, man. Could this be the fulfillment of a prophetic moment leading toward the rise of a European superstate? And could this pave the way for the prophesied leader who will unite Europe under a single banner? All right. And no, that's not the case. That's not what's in prophecy. You know what I'm saying? It's not one man, because what that right there is alluding to is the Antichrist, and there is no Antichrist as being one man in the scriptures. All right. The man of sin, all right, or the man of perdition is talking about Esau, Edom. You know what I'm saying? The house of Edom. Okay. It says biblical prophecy, particularly in the books of Daniel and Revelation, speaks of a final world empire arising from the remnants of the Roman Empire, which is America. All right. Which is America. Daniel 2 describes a vision of a statue where the feet, partly iron and partly clay, represent a fragile coalition of strong and weak nations. All right, they got that part correct. Later, Daniel chapter 7 expands on this vision, depicting a beast with 10 horns, symbolizing 10 kings or nations. Revelation 13 refers to this confederation as the beast, led by a singular ruler who will dominate the world stage. No, that is not the case. That's not the case. All right, many prophecy scholars believe this points to a revived Roman Empire, modern day Europe. No, that's not the case. All right, the revived Roman Empire is America. Okay, that prophecy has been fulfilled. You see what I'm saying? That little horn is America. All right, that wound, that deadly wound that was healed, that's America. All right, so you can see here that these guys, you know what I'm saying, they know part of this truth, and they don't know the whole truth, man. You see? They don't know the whole truth. All right? For decades, the European Union has sought to unify the continent, yet political and cultural differences have prevented full integration. However, with the threat of Russian aggression and increasing uncertainty regarding America's commitment to NATO, Europe may be forced to accelerate its plans for military and economic unity. Could this be the moment when the prophetic 10-nation alliance begins to form? That's already happened. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? That prophecy already happened with the European Union being formed already. You see what I'm saying? NATO and the EU is the beast, all right, of the 10 heads. You see what I'm saying? And that whore that rides the beast is America, which is the remnant of the Roman Empire. You see? All right. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 38, man, because scriptures tell us, all right, the scriptures tell us that that many of these nations are going to start following Russia. All right. These nations are going to start following Russia after they've already broken apart. Which is what was partly clay, partly iron, you know what I'm saying? The vision of Daniel, right? So that's going to lead to many of these nations jumping ship and joining. They're going to be joining BRICS. They're going to be joining Russia. You see what I'm saying? China. All right. Ezekiel chapter 38. Let's hit verse 3. Ezekiel 38:3. And say, thus saith Yahawah. Thus saith Yahawah power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Gomer and his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands. All right, and that's going into Turkey. And Turkey is a part of NATO. You see? Turkey is a part of NATO. So Turkey is prophesied that Turkey is going to jump ship and put its full force and might behind Russia. You see what I'm saying? So that's telling us that Turkey is going to put a monkey wrench in the plans as well. All right, there's going to be a lot of backstabbing as we go forward with this with these prophecies, man. You're going to see it playing out. All right. And it says, Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right. And, when you look at the situations that's going on in the so-called Middle East, you know what I'm saying? What's happening is the House of Saud is offering, I believe it was 53 billion to rebuild in Gaza, you know what I'm saying? And effectively create a two-state situation over there. All right. I believe, let me see. Bear with me, Arkin, bear with me. All right, so this is in the Times of India. All right, and the article reads, Saudi rejects Trump Gaza plan. MBS backs creation of Palestinian state, pledges support to $53 billion in Arab proposal. All right. So, that's something to really look at, man. That's something to really look at, because what's going on is these nations are being gathered into that region. All right, these nations are being gathered in that region. Effectively, what's going on in Ukraine is going to reach a conclusion, and all these nations are going to end up in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. You know what I'm saying? Over there in the Levant region. See? So that's it says, under Trump's leadership, America's role as Europe's security guarantor has been called into question. His insistence that NATO members should shoulder more of their defense burden rattled many European allies. The recent Oval Office confrontation between Trump and Zelensky has only reinforced fears that the U.S. can no longer be relied upon to protect European interests. You see? So let's go to the other article. All right, bear with me. All right, so this is from endtimeheadlines.org. It reads, European leaders warn that conscription will be necessary as the EU launches an $840 billion program to prepare for war with Russia. All right? $840 billion program. That's talk of World War III, man. We talking close to $1 trillion just to prepare for war. All right? And that's from all the European leaders, man. As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister of UK, he what did he do? He decided that they're going to increase the defense budget, I believe it was by 4 to 6%. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like 6% that they're going to be increasing it over 2 years, they say. All right. Why? Because the UK can no longer rely on America to guarantee their safety. You see? So it reads, if you were drafted, would you willingly go to the killing fields of Eastern Ukraine? All right. What about your children? You see, it's a lot different now, man, because when this whole situation started and everybody had the Ukraine flag on their Facebook posts and their Facebook page and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? All right. It's a lot different now. It's a lot different. You see, if everybody was talking about the war, yeah, everybody's up for the war, but nobody wants to participate. You see what I'm saying? Nobody wants to participate, man. All right? It says the war in Ukraine has been an endless meat grinder that has already claimed hundreds of thousands of Russian lives and more than 1 million Ukrainian lives. Those that are sane want to see if there is a peaceful way out of this mess so that the killing can stop. Unfortunately, vast numbers of leftists all over the United States and Western Europe have been transformed into rabid pro-war lunatics that are absolutely obsessed with quote-unquote defeating Russia. Isn't that interesting? You know, you have to find this very interesting. It's an interesting mindset that you see. All right? And it's at the core of hypocrisy, because every time when you see one candidate go in office or the other candidate go in office, notice that there's always a war. You ever notice that? No matter who's in office, there's always going to be a war. All right? When Bush was in office, when George W. Bush was in office, there was a war. All right? Guess who was against the war? So-called liberals. All right? So-called liberals was against the war. You heard it from Rachel Maddow. You heard it from all these other characters. You know what I'm saying? All right? Everybody was against the war. Everybody was anti-war. Everybody's doing protests and whatnot because the Republican is taking us to war. Obama gets in there. What happens? We're going to war with Libya. You see what I'm saying? What's going on with the left? The left is okay. The left is quiet on that. But the right side, they're like, no, we don't need any war. We don't want any war. We're anti-war. You see what I'm saying? Trump comes in the first term. He takes out Hassim Soleimani. You hear crickets from the right side, but from the left side, everybody's in an uproar. You see? Biden comes in. All right, his war with Zelensky and Putin. Everybody's against the war on the right side, but everybody's pro-war and pro-Zelensky, pro-Ukraine on the left side. You see? You see how this works? And now when Trump is in office, okay, you get the same sentiment. All right? It's the same dynamic every time. You know what I'm saying? The same dynamic. All right? This is how they continue to play with the American people for so long, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, the easiest group of people to fool are Americans, man. They're the easiest people to fool, you know, because they're too focused on one side versus another side. You know what I'm saying? If that side is against it, then I have to be for it. You know what I'm saying? I have to be for it. If the other side is for this, I have to be against it. You know? And these people never realize that they get played with. All right? So nevertheless, the article continues. It says, so gigantic mountains of dollars and euros have been poured into the war in Ukraine. But it hasn't worked. All right? The Russians are winning. And so now European leaders are preparing to take things to the next level. On Tuesday, Ursula von der Leyen unveiled a brand new $840 billion program that will be known as Rearm Europe. European Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen announced on Tuesday that the European Union will free up $840 billion in funding to funnel into defense across the bloc. All right, that's all I need to get with that. But you can clearly see, all right, that everybody's gearing up for war right now, man. Everyone's gearing up for war, right? Let me see. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 3, it says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains. All right, that word for mountains is going into different governments. All right. When you look at mountains, valleys, hills, okay, it's talking about different levels of government. All right. So the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations, gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. All right. So yeah, man. You know, this thing is only ramping up, man. It's not gonna slow down. All right. It's not gonna slow down. Like even political analysts are starting to say that we're at the point of no return, man. You know what I'm saying? This only ends one way, and that's through prophecy. All right, so I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem RAAHWABAN. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I've grown in this truth under. All right, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.